You know that tiny swipe-up gesture? The one that closes an app? Here is the twist. For a lot of apps, that gesture is less like slamming a door and more like turning off the lights because the room can still be occupied. So what is actually still running? Why do some apps wake up when you are not touching them? How can your phone know what you want before you even open anything? And most important, what can you actually control? Let us pull back the curtain on the invisible life of your phone. The part you do not see is the part that matters. When you close an app, your phone does two things at once. First, it hides the app's window. That is what you see. Second, it decides what to do with the app's process, the little engine behind the window. And your phone is obsessed with one thing: battery. Your operating system is like a nightclub bouncer. It is letting apps in and out, cutting people off, kicking some out early, and giving a few VIPs special access. On modern phones, most apps cannot run freely in the background forever, especially on Android, which has years of increasingly strict background limits. But cannot run freely does not mean does nothing. It means apps do their background work in approved ways. And those ways are sneakier than most people realize. The invisible afterlife of an app. Even with the app closed, 3 things can still happen. 1. Background refresh. Your phone may allow an app to briefly wake up, check for updates, and go back to sleep. That is the idea behind features like background app refresh. 2. Push notifications. This is a big one. A notification is not the app running non-stop. It is the app server tapping your phone on the shoulder through Apple and Google's notification system. Your phone hears the tap, then decides, do I wake the app? Do I show the message? Do I stay quiet? 3. Scheduled tasks. Apps can request do this later jobs like syncing photos, uploading logs, refreshing feeds, checking messages, often bundled to happen when your phone is charging or on Wi-Fi. So yes, your phone is actively trying to prevent background chaos. But here is the clever part. Even short wake-ups are enough to create a surprisingly detailed picture of you. Okay, but what data could it possibly collect? Let us name the invisible streams. Some are obvious: what you tap, what you search, what you watch, what you buy. But others are side-channel signals, data that feels harmless alone yet becomes powerful in bulk, like device information. For example, model, language, time zone, and battery level patterns. Network information, such as IP region and Wi-Fi identifiers in some cases. App behavior, like how long you linger, when you open, when you quit. Location signals, precise GPS if you allow it, or rough location from networks, and identifiers used for advertising and measurement. Now a quick reality check. On iPhone and iPad, apps that want to track you across other companies' apps and websites are supposed to ask permission through app tracking transparency. That pop-up is the famous Allow app to track your activity across other companies' apps and websites. That is specifically about cross-app tracking, often involving ad identifiers and data sharing with third parties. But here's the twist. Even without that permission, apps can still collect a lot of first-party data, meaning what you do inside their app. And they can still use many technical signals for security, fraud prevention, analytics, and general product improvement. So the question is not, is my phone spying 24/7? The real question is, how many tiny crumbs are being dropped, and where do they end up? The app inside the app problem. Here's a secret most people never learn. Many apps are not just made by one company, they are a sandwich. You have the app you downloaded on the outside, and inside are little plug-in modules called software development kits, such as analytics, crash reporting, advertising, attribution, social logins, and video players. Each one can be a data doorway. Think of it like inviting a few helpers into your house, one to fix the plumbing, one to install the lights, and one who quietly takes notes on everything you own. Not every SDK is shady. A crash reporter can genuinely help fix bugs. Analytics can help improve features. But this is where the invisible part grows. your data does not just stay with the app. It can flow through a supply chain, and that supply chain is big business. Myth versus reality. Myth number 1, closing the app stops tracking. Reality, closing the app mostly stops the interface. Background tasks, notifications, and scheduled work can still happen depending on your settings and your operating system rules. Myth number 2, if I hit Ask App not to track, I am invisible. Reality, that choice can reduce cross-app tracking for advertising, but it does not erase the data you choose to give an app inside its own walls, nor does it magically delete data already collected. And now, the biggest twist of all. A lot of the creepy feeling is not that your phone is always listening. It is that your phone is always predicting. The prediction engine in your pocket. Your phone does not need constant surveillance to feel psychic. If an app learns that you open it at 7:40 in the morning, you scroll for 11 minutes, you click certain topics, you shop on Fridays, you check messages late at night, and your location is often near certain places, it can build a model of you that is eerily accurate with just periodic pings. This is the invisible everyday effect. Nothing looks dramatic in the moment, but it adds up into a mirror that follows you. And that has consequences. Real-life impact, what this changes in your day. First, attention. Notifications are not just messages, they are levers. Each buzz trains your brain to check. Each badge creates a tiny itch. Even when you do not open the app, your mind opens the loop. Second, privacy drift. You do not wake up one day and decide to share your whole life. You share a little here, a permission there, a login there, and suddenly an app knows your habits better than your friends do. Third, the data shadow. Even if you personally do not care about targeted ads, your data can still be used for profiling, what you might buy, where you might go, what you might respond to, what kind of person you might be. And here is the catch. It is not one app, it is the network. So what can you actually do? Not go live in a cave. Real practical choices that take 5 minutes. Here are 5 that have the biggest payoff. Turn off background refresh for apps that do not deserve it. Ask yourself, does this app need to refresh when I'm not using it? News feeds, social apps, shopping apps often do not. Turning off background refresh can reduce unseen updates and can help battery life. Audit permissions like you are checking who has your house keys. Location is the big one. Prefer while using instead of always. Then check microphone, camera, photos, Bluetooth, and contacts. If an app does not need a permission to function, revoke it. Be ruthless with notifications. Keep the ones that are truly time-sensitive, messages, security alerts, and calendar events. Mute the rest. This doesn't just protect privacy, it protects your attention. Say no to cross-app tracking prompts by default. On Apple devices, app tracking transparency is specifically about tracking across other companies' apps and sites, and denying it reduces that kind of ad tracking. If an app really needs it, the app should be able to explain why in plain language. Use separation as a superpower. One browser for everyday browsing. Another browser for sensitive logins. Different email aliases for signups. Less linking means fewer one profile to rule them all moments. And a bonus micro habit that's weirdly effective. Before you download any app, pause and ask, what business model is paying for this? If it is free, the product might be your predictable behavior. The satisfying truth. Your phone isn't evil. It's not haunted. It's not alive. It's a very efficient manager of tiny moments and a very efficient collector of tiny signals. Closing an app isn't a full stop. It's more like a comma. And once you see that, you can start choosing where your commas go. Because the goal isn't to disappear. The goal is to be intentional, to make sure the invisible parts of your day belong to you. And that swipe up gesture, it's still useful. Just remember what it really means. You didn't end the story, you just stopped watching the screen.